Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. If you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for joining me and for liking my stuff. And if you are a new subscriber, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and like the video and share if you think that anyone could benefit from the freshman advice that I am sharing with you guys today. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. Number one is plan your classes at least 1 year ahead of time. And so what I mean by this is maybe in the summer before you're going into your freshman year, plan out your first 2 semesters of classes, because some courses are only offered in the fall, some are only offered in the spring, and some are only offered on odd or even years. And so you need to check with your school and your class schedules. This will depend on if you go to a larger school or a small school. I go to a relatively smaller school, so that may be why my classes are like that. Bigger schools, you might not have that, and all the classes might be every semester. But look into that and make sure that you know, so that whenever it comes time for December and you have to go for your second one, you don't have to worry and scramble while you're taking finals and figure out what classes you want to take, and then end up taking classes that you either didn't need to take or classes that you needed to take in succession or different things like that. Tip number 2 is pack minimally. I packed relatively minimally, but found out that I didn't use a lot of things that I thought I would use. I will say some things you should have that you probably won't think you'll use, like medicine and things just in case you get sick, or tissue, things to clean up your room, although you should be cleaning your room quite often. You and your roommate should have an agreement on who cleans when, but pack things minimally. You don't need 100 pieces of clothing. My school had a washer and dryer in the dorm on the lower floor, and so I would wash clothes every week or every 2 weeks. And so I just had a week's worth of workout clothes, and then my school clothes I had maybe 2 or 3 weeks worth, because I do have some of my summer clothes I wear in the winter. So if you have clothes like that, then you don't have to bring as many clothes as you would if you have different things set for winter and different things set for summer or the warmer weather. And so make sure you look into that, and make sure that you have your hygiene products, and just create a list so that you don't forget any of your necessities, but don't bring too many extra things. I brought a few games that I thought that I could play with people and maybe make friends in the common area in the dorms, but I used only one game, and so I will only bring that for my next semester at school, as opposed to bringing multiple games. Tip number 3, plan out your time. So what I mean by this is, at college you have your classes, you have to study for your classes, you have to eat at some point in time, and there's only certain hours allotted each day for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then you have activities, maybe sports, clubs, or just going to the recreation center and having Zumba, hanging out with your friends, going to work, and different things like that. And so I used actually 3 different ways of keeping track. I used a planner, I used a calendar that I had hanging on the wall, and then I used Google Calendar. So in my planner, I would have all of my homework necessities, when things are due, my to-do list for the day, and things like that. On the calendar on the wall, I would have test days, I would have class times, I would have when I wanted to go to my club, I would have which days those were, and then I would have things like Zumba or different classes that the recreational center had, so that my friends and I could always look at it and see if we could go at the same time and go together. And then I would also have my work schedule up on there. And then Google Calendar, I pretty much had everything, but you can get alerts and alarms. And so I like the physical calendar so I can just see things very quickly at a glance when I'm in my room. And then I like Google Calendar because you can have alarms to remember and like have you reminded the night before that you have a test coming up or a quiz or a big project due and things like that. And so you don't have to go to the extreme that I did because it can be a little bit much, but I would say at the minimum have a planner, a hard copy, something that you can put in your book bag so when you're in class and the teacher reschedules things from the syllabus and changes it, you can make those changes in your planner and you will be able to see the up-to-date schedule. Number 4, have at least one connection in each of your classes. You probably should know this from high school or middle school, or if you're younger than college, this can also go to you. But I would say get one friend and have their phone number, or if you have social media, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, so that you can message the person if you're struggling on an assignment or you missed class and you want to make sure that you're up to date and different things like that, just to make sure that you don't fall behind and that you have someone that you can work on an assignment with just in case the teacher isn't available, or if you have a group project, then you already have a friend in the class that you can work with. Number 5, introduce yourself to the teacher. On the first day, most likely you will say hi, they'll call out the name so that they can try and put names to faces. But if you go to a really large school, it's probably different and they won't remember your face. So try to at least, I would say every 2 weeks, talk to your teacher, whether that's when you go to class and they say something about raining, or you compliment them on their outfit, or you ask them a question. Like I'm in the science field, and so I go up to my chemistry teacher and ask her how she decided to become a chemistry teacher, or different things like that, just so that they can get to know you. Also, take time to go to the office hours that the teachers put up, because not everyone goes there, and the teachers put that there so that they can help you. And so go there. If you have to make up a question just to have a conversation with them so that they can get to know you, then do that. But I would say for me, I almost always have a question, so if I don't ask it in class, I'll go to office hours and just make sure that they get to know you, so whenever it gets come time for finals and the end of the semester and you're maybe at like a 89 or even an 88, that they might bump you up to a 90 so that you have an A instead of having a B on your final grade. Number 6, start everything early. Starting everything early, whenever you get a project and you see it's weeks down the road, still write in your planner and make sure that you don't forget about it and wait last minute. Because usually with big projects, it's harder and more difficult, and so you'll want to be able to have time to ask your teachers, and you don't want, or even friends, and you don't want them to think that you're last minute or just forgetting about it or rushing last minute, trying to cheat or different things like that. And so you want to make sure that you stay focused and you stay on top of your assignments so that you don't feel stressed and you're more relaxed, and you can turn things in earlier, and that will also have a good impression on your teachers. Number 7, join a sport or a club. I did not play any sports my freshman year, but I did participate in Zumba, rock climbing, and I would do a few other things and just go to the gym and lift weights and things like that. But I was in 2 clubs, and so just put yourself out there. You don't have to go to them every week. One of my clubs for the first semester, I only went there 2 or 3 times because they did not work with my schedule, or I had tests and different things like that. So you just have to work things in and just go to different things and venture out there. You make new friends and you learn new things and are able to do different creative things while you're at college. Number 8, just have fun and be safe. I had class at 8 p.m. at night that started at 8 p.m. and so that's relatively late. It's dark outside, there's not that many people out, So be aware of your surroundings. I'm on a smaller campus, so I didn't have to walk that far back to my dorm, but those who live in apartments have to walk further, and you never know what can happen. And so I would say just be aware of your surroundings, and even be on the phone with someone, call a friend, or walk with someone from your class back to your dorm just to be safe. And always have fun. Activities, there'll be many activities at the beginning of your freshman year, or all years. It's always at the beginning. The first semester they'll have a lot of activities just so you have more opportunities to get to meet people and try new things, and it's kind of like an icebreaker for being away at college. And if you live on campus, then you're always there, and there'll be more activities even within your dorm for you to meet the people on your floors and different things like that. And so I hope these tips and this freshman advice helps you, and if there are any things that I did not cover that you think are good tips, please leave them in the comments below so that I can learn some new things and other people who watch the video can learn things as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment as well.